Hi everyone, it's Saul Sunforge for Dungeons and Taverns. Hopefully you're having a great day. Um, I, other than the tavern talks, which have been great, I feel, just answering tons of questions, and I want you to keep submitting your questions for tavern talks. You know, things that you want us to cover that would be wonderful for you to submit. As many as you want. And once we get too many people submitting questions, then obviously we won't be able to get to all your questions in every episode, and you know that's how that will work. But today I wanted to talk about random encounters. Um, all about random encounters. Um, you know, for for a player's perspective. Um, you know, I suppose we'll see. Um, so random encounters are, for all intents and purposes, random. Um, DMs sometimes have planned random encounters, but the players, you don't really know if any of them are, unless the DM comes out and says that, which they're not really supposed to. I suppose it doesn't hurt nothing, but so random encounters happen. We just established randomly. They usually happen, in the wilderness or some sort of environment. There's city random encounters too, but those are a little bit more advanced. We'll talk about this, some other time. So, we'll cover like wilderness encounters. You're on the road, or you're trying to eschew the road. You're trying to avoid it, and um, creep through the woods or something. Um, or you're trying to scale a mountain, and you come to a cliffside, and you happen to say meet a group of harpies, or a group of eagles or rocks. uh, you know not a rock. A rock is a bird, a large bird. Some sort of avian threat, and excuse me, um, some sort of avian threat, and so the we establish that they happen randomly, and we establish they happen mostly in the wilderness. Um, and the way that I determine random encounters is, how dangerous is the journey? Meaning, you know, what area are you traveling through? Like, are you traveling through a contested, hot conflict zone? Are you traveling through the Underdark, or the Shadowfell, or the Abyss, or where are you traveling? Matters greatly into the encounter. Mainly because you want to make the type of creature that they're encountering make sense to them. You know, like if you're up in the air, chances are you're not going to be fighting slimes. Or maybe you could. I think of a pretty sweet quest actually where you could fight slimes in an airship. They got their way onto an airship. They snuck on and just multiplied. It was just feeding on the supplies of this airship, right? And so when they were running out of supplies up above, when they went down below to get more supplies, more food, and things like that, that's when they encountered this big ass slime, or a group of slimes that led a trail that led to a big ass slime. That would, but that's, you can always think of exceptions, or at least I can. Most people can, certainly. Um, and so, the where you're at matters on what you're fighting, okay, and then the hostility of the zone matters on the frequency of the chance of you fighting those types of things, okay. And so what I do is I roll like a D6. Usually it's a D6. Sometimes I use a D8 because I feel like D8s usually are underused. D12s especially too. It just it depends on how many types of conflict I want to make it. If I want to make it a really, really contentious zone where you could come up across 5 or 6 random encounters before you even come across that zone, well, that's going to be a high roll, right? So, sorry, my shirt keeps bunching up in my armpit. It makes it look like I'm okay. So, I need to use fabric softener. But so yeah, so I'll roll a D. We'll just say a D6. Okay, you roll a D6. If it's a peaceful zone, if the result on the dice is a 6, there's an encounter. Okay, and then I roll a separate dice, whether it's a peaceful encounter, a neutral encounter, a hostile encounter, and that that's like the D12. And a roll of 1 through 3 is the worst. That's like the automatic hostile encounter, and it's going to be an encounter that you don't see, most likely an ambush, right? That's how I do it on my end for DMs, and so I go about doing that for random encounters. So they're usually, you might get a lot of, you won't get a lot of halting random encounters. You'll get what I call resting random encounters, where the encounter happens when the party's taking their long rest, almost always overnight, right? That's when most people sleep, except me because I work night shifts, but, adventurers work during the light, usually. Unless they're underground, they don't know what time of day it is, or they're trapped and they have no control over it. And yet, because like I said, there's always exceptions. But usually the adventurers are sleeping at night, so you'll get like ambushes, or creatures will spot them, like or the hunter or whoever has the proficiency in survival to determine where you guys should rest at didn't roll very well. And so it's more exposed, and so maybe you're getting snuck up on from a hostile group while you're sleeping from behind without you noticing, or waking up, or the watch noticing. That's bad, right? That's bad. That's a lot of fun, though. That's a lot of fun. So but a lot of DMs, and a lot of players don't know, or they don't, maybe they don't consider it, but friendly, random encounters can be friendly. Traveling merchants is a very, very great way to introduce, friendly random encounters. It's so easy. It's just made for you to just take it as, very little planning. You just, you feel like the group has been trudging along, or they've had a series of combats, and you want to take it easy a bit, maybe. Make the encounter somebody friendly. A merchant is on the roads, a glass blower. selling beautiful vases and pipes and, you know, smoking accessories and, you know, a lot of, you know, and he has a big horse, or maybe, you know, maybe he has three guards escorting him. You know, maybe you could talk to the guards or join the guards or attack the guards and, you know, take the merchant's stuff. Those are all possibilities for random encounters. And so, you know, a merchant could be a neutral encounter to an evil party. To a good party, a merchant would be a friendly encounter, I imagine. What else can I tell you about random encounters? Oh, don't expect, as a player, don't expect random encounters to always match your level. The CR of a creature is determined by the average of the level of 4 party members as deemed appropriate. You know, so meaning, in easier terms, that a party of 4 can handle a CR4 creature if they're level 4. If the CR of the creature is level 20, then that's an even fight for 4 party members who are level 20, supposedly. You know, and Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro, and you know, them are the people who they make what they make Monopoly and Risk and Sorry and Guess Who and all that kind of stuff, right? And Barbie stuff too, right? So, you know, these people are like the authorities, the ultimate authorities over Wizards of the Coast on the rules of, you know, the game, and, you know, that's why the game's kind of, well, I'm digressing, but the point is that the random encounters, don't always expect them to be your level, and players, it's fine to vamoose, you know. You know, maybe you can have a strategy where you have, you know, 3 of your party members. If you're a group of 4, we're assuming you have 3 party members fighting off whatever the creature is, the hostile creature, while one party member who's maybe lower on health or something like that during the interrupted sleep, maybe they are packing hastily, you know, packing up the belongings, and so they tell you, oh my gosh, they tell you how long they want to take packing up, okay, how many rounds they are willing to take to pack everything up. Are you going to pack everything up until it's all packed? Because if that's the case, then those 3 party members are going to have to fight more people, and it's going to cause more pressure on the situation. So if they decide to hastily pack up in like 4 rounds, then they're only getting like 40% of their stuff or something like that, you know. But they could end up coming back to get it because they could do a survival check to remember where it's at, and, you know, get close to it and find maybe clues when they get close to it, but not at it through investigation checks, so on and so on. And so random encounters are wonderful. Okay, they're great. You don't want to use too many of them, especially if your group is role play focus. You know, you don't want to use too many combat oriented random encounters. You want more friendly random encounters. If your group is more exploration focused, give them random encounters with objects. Give them random encounters with beautiful scenery, and describe it beautiful. You know, the more eloquent these buildings and these surroundings and these things are, the more opulent and grand and luxurious you need to make it sound. That's just the way of things. Welcome. Ah, sir, yes, may I help you with your bags? You know, instead of the welcome to the tavern. What do you want? You know, all we have is ale. That's all you'll get, ale and dry bread. I'll have none of this fancy wine talk from you. That was sweet. I like that. I'm gonna do that character. I'll give you guys a preview. All right. So when you see this character in the session, is from this video is how far you know that I am behind in editing the campaign. So keep track and remember. All right. So what else? Oh yeah, XP versus milestone for random encounters. Milestone is when the DM basically puts little check marks in the way, and the group goes to each one, and then dings, they get a level. And the higher level you are, the more checkpoints you have to do, because the shorter the progress bar is going to move from doing each successive thing. So eventually, you're going to have to do 3 check marks for the level, and then 5, and then 8, and then 32 at the end, or something like that. And so what I do is that my random encounters, that are interacted with, they do count towards it as a bonus, check mark. But if random encounters don't happen, then you just don't get that bonus check mark. That's it. Because if you do it any other way, I find that players tend to circumvent the battle by way of fleeing. And don't get me wrong, I just had said earlier, fleeing is a great option. I just said that. So am I contradicting myself? Well, not exactly, because you need to know when you're outmatched, and then if you're fleeing all the time out of every battle, no matter what, and getting stuff for it every single time, why wouldn't you stop doing it? And so, like, if, for instance, they fight a creature and it escapes, they get half of that experience, right? If they encounter that wounded creature by tracking its trail or something like that, blood or some type of evidence, and they get to that creature's lair, and then they go in and then they finish it off, they get the other half. And then obviously the bonus of getting that stuff in that lair, because they pursued that situation to its conclusion, and that's their reward, but getting experience for those battles feels very grindy in nature, because it is. There's no way you can use experience and have it not be grindy. Instead of wanting to progress the story and things, well, you're going to be just going around making sure you're in the woods in the dark. Oh no, there's no light source. I hope nobody attacks me. Trying to lure monsters out to fight them, just constantly over and over and over and over, and just avoiding the story. That's grindy, So, and the way I do the checkpoints, so from level, and sometimes I do start at level 0. I've had campaigns start where people have had not a class at all or anything, and we started with their backstory, like as their session zeros, and it was amazing content. I'm going to provide that for you, I think, for campaign 2. Another spoiler, but it's okay. I love you guys, so I want you to know what's going to happen here. This channel is going to take off, and those of you who are here from the beginning, the real ones, hey, you know, I very much appreciate you, and I just want you guys to know that, okay? Because I don't know if I say it enough. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for watching my content. And if you get something from it, hopefully you share it with somebody, a friend who may be interested in it as well. That's how we'll grow, and then we'll all become, I actually want to get to know you guys and become your friends. And so go ahead and feel free to leave comments in the section. If you want to join my Discord, let me know. I'm going to start just promoting it in the videos, and then you'll be able to just come over if you'd like. We're going to plan on doing some more VR stuff shortly. We cleaned up the living room, Callie's belongings and my D&D stuff, and we made it so there's a comfortable, safe space for the VR. So I'm Saul Sunforge for Dungeons and Taverns. Thanking you. If you're not followed, please like and subscribe. And yeah, that's it, because my voice is starting to go, if you can't tell. All right, I talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Peace.